Dr. Emmett Brown 1.
Psycho Massacre Films.
UK HHN.
And I'm Deadly Fear 1283, and this is Horror Nights Updaters.
Okay, the first thing we're going to talk about is American Horror Story.
I wouldn't mind seeing American Horror Story. They could do a lot with it with the 3 seasons they have. My guess would be that they'd probably do a best of house, like season 1, 2, and 3, and then promote season 4. That's the way I could see them doing it, just like they did with Walking Dead.
I can see some stuff that they can do.
Yeah, I think the same as Rick. I think because the show, even though it's kind of popular, I don't think it's mainstream as Walking Dead, so I think it'd be like a best of house, and I think they just use, depending on obviously what they let them use, but I think it would be the best of all 3 seasons. Like with different rooms, a bit similar to the Usher House, where it was obviously cut scenes out of cult films that would be the main scenes out of the show. A bit like that, you know. I feel like the Walking Dead original, the first Walking Dead house was like that, wasn't it? Really, wasn't really. He was immersed in the scare house. He was in the house. He was just walking through scenes of the show, and I think that's what it'd be like.
Walking Dead, stay on the TV. I love you. I don't want to see you anymore at HHN, though. It was fun. But please, I don't want you taking up my merchandise anymore.
2 years is enough for The Walking Dead.
Comcast and Universal is bluntly, they're kind of selling their ass for money. That's in the sense that in the day it's Potterland, and then at night it's The Walking Dead. And it's like what they're doing, they're not bothered about what people think, they're saturating it with what makes money. And I think that's whatever makes them, and they'll get an IP in again that'll make as much money as Walking Dead has done for them. And I think that's the problem you've got. I mean, I don't know if you guys agree, but off the top of your head, even though there's like really great, amazing films and franchises, I don't think. Can you name one that you'd think would be as popular to the non kind of religious HHN fans as Walking Dead would be? Because I can't off the top of my head. It's just obviously it's peaked at the right time for when they've gone IP crazy. They've just decided, and Walking Dead's around. They've just saturated it, overkill.
Yep. Especially with the ratings it's gotten.
Yes, I mean, there are tons of stuff that are more popular or just as popular as The Walking Dead. It's just that the problem is Universal's already done it. Freddy, Jason, Leatherface, Saw, Chucky, we've already done it.
I mean, the thing is that with them, they're popular in the cult films, but they're not the boom at the minute, are they? Whereas Walking Dead is really popular with people who aren't horror fans as such and aren't big onto like the horror scene. It's really big with them as well. It's like, it's a TV show, it's kind of captured different types of audiences. And I think that's the problem. You've actually got a product in it that's really popular and it's new, it's to people. But if it comes this year, I think it'll be the final year. I really do.
Hopefully, yeah. Neil, what do you think about that?
I'm kind of shocked, obviously going off what I was told about how much they hated working with Capcom, what restrictions they put on the actual doing of the Resident Evil house, and I reckon that's why it looked like it was half-hearted, because they just couldn't put their heart into it because they was restricted. I mean, there's a lot they could do with an house, Resident Evil house. Could make it couldn't be any worse, I'll put it that way. But I'm a bit shocked considering how bad the last one was and how soon to do a sequel house might be. If you have Walking Dead and having Resident Evil sequel house, I can only fear the worst for the event. That's just my view.
What they should have done in the first place, they should have based off the first maze off the first game. That would have made it much better. That's what I think. Should have done the mansion or the 4, yeah.
Yeah. So
not sure where they're gonna go with this. If they're gonna do 4 and 5 and maybe 6, but if they want to make a good maze for a sequel, they should base it off the first game. That's just my opinion. and the fourth would be good too, but like a lot of people know the first game and the fourth one, so they can really pick from those two. But we'll see where they go from there. It needs its own area. It can't share a soundstage. If they really want to make a good house, it needs its own soundstage.
The biggest problem to me in the last Resident Evil was too much space, not enough scare actors. Because in the opening room with Leon, like you're supposed to feel overrun with zombies, and there's only one zombie just going around being shot. I mean, like, that's not a sense of being like overran. It's just a sense of like, what the hell. I would honestly like to see another Resident Evil, like compared to like Walking Dead. I'd rather have another Resident Evil, because with Resident Evil they can do so much more than just zombies. Like, they have so many monsters you can use. I can only hope for Resident Evil again, Dead Space, and Bioshock. Like, those would be my three.
The next topic is urban legends, Nightingale sequel houses. There's rumors going around with that. Personally, I think another urban legends house would be great. I mean, there's lots of stories that they can base the house on. Chupacabra, Mothman, there's a lot. And Nightingales, I really liked the house back in 2011, and I think they could do some other really cool stuff with it.
Nightingales, yeah, I thought the first house was great. I thought it was original. So I'd love to see like a sequel house. I just hope it wouldn't go the same way as Havoc, where the original was good and then the sequel was a poor version of the original. But I'd love to see the attempt on it anyway. I think I'd like to see that more than I'd like to see a Walking Dead house or a Resident Evil house. That's just my personal opinion on it.
I'm really fascinated with that stuff. I like they could do, Jersey Devil, like what you said, John, Mothman, Chupacabra. But I want to see something different. I really don't want to see them do El Cucuy like Hollywood did last year. And as for Nightingales, I'm all for that. I wasn't able to go through the first Nightingales house, so going through the sequel would be pretty cool. And I believe what they say, Catacombs 2 was another one. And I'd be all for that as well. I really like that house.
I'm all for all the ideas. I mean, Nightingales and Catacombs were great houses. The ideas were pretty original for the most part. And the actors in it were all energetic and like actually went for the scares for everyone, not just for some people. Urban Legends, that I'd really like to see what they do with this new series brand that Universal has. I feel like La Llorona was such a big success. It'd just be cool to see where they take the series. I'm interested to see what urban legends they bring to life.
I just like to say, I wonder if it did get successful, would they do Bloody Mary again?
That'd be cool.
Good way to bring her back.
Yeah, that'll be cool. Insidious.
I think I don't want to see Hollywood's cast-offs every year like we had La Llorona. I don't get me wrong, at first I actually loved the idea of having an Insidious house, but then I don't think there's too much they could do different to what they did with the Hollywood house, and I'd rather see something else other than the Insidious. I'd rather see sort of rehashed Hollywood house like Orlando. I don't know if you guys agree.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'd rather see them do their own paranormal house than do Insidious, because I love what Orlando does with their paranormal houses. I really like the film. I like Insidious. I like the film, but I don't really want to see the house, because I saw the video of the Hollywood walkthrough, and it's like once you've seen it, it's like I don't know. They'd probably do it different, but I don't really want it.
I'm kind of with Vic and Neil on this. Like, I wouldn't care about the Insidious house, honestly. Then again, I haven't really seen the film, but I don't want to keep having houses that Hollywood already had. I mean, Orlando does, like, I feel like Orlando does better going for IPs that Hollywood hasn't done already. But I don't know.
I'm sure it'll be a good house, but I agree with all you guys. I'd rather see something else, like another IP or another original house, take that spot instead of Insidious. So, alright. Okay, the next topic is Jack the Clown show. What do you guys think? Kane, start with you.
That'd be cool. That would tell me something that A&D is looking to dig back into the past again and get the past icons and bring them back to HHN, which I love. Jack the Clown really brought in the money for Universal.
I think out of all of them, he's probably the icon you could get away with. That the HHN crowd, if that makes sense, the ones who are not bothered about icons and backstories and the website, etc. I think he's the only one that probably could get away with bringing out again. Obviously, a lot of people are afraid of clowns. Plus, when he does the show and his character, a lot of people like the badass attitude. Obviously, like you have your kind of Freddy Krueger, your Stone Cold Steve Austin, as they all love the kind of lovable rogue, as you call it. And I think he's someone that his character never grow, and no one can ever grow old of it. I think it's a crowd pleaser. So whether it's a show or an house or something, I think it can only be a good thing for Halloween Horror Nights if they bring him back.
You have The Walking Dead. They bring The Walking Dead back. That will bring in, like the non-hardcores that just know the shit. And if they bring in the Jack show or Jack the Clown, then there's no reason for them to say, oh, we didn't have like any icons or anything. It's kind of like they want to give people, the hardcores and, the regulars coming in, their stuff,
The next topic is The Purge. It's a scare zone. What do you guys think?
Scare zone.
It's got to be a scare zone for me.
Scare zone. Yeah, it did come.
I just think it'd be too weak for an house. The scare would be the same time to time. Then again, though, they did do a Doomsday house, so anything's possible. To be fair, but I just think it'd be too weak as an house. It'd be the same thing over and over again, wouldn't it? There's not really, with each house, like you go through American Welfare in London, obviously it's a story, innit? It goes from on the moors getting bit to turning into a werewolf to the werewolf actually getting killed. With the Purge, it's just people killing each other off because of the Purge, and that's it really. There's nothing else.
If they did make that a house, I could see that being a disaster.
I could see it being a disaster.
And that.
Alright.
But yeah, scare zone. No house.
It'd just be havoc, wouldn't it? It'd just be havoc with people with masks on. That's all it's going to be.
Yeah. Kane, you have anything to say on the Purge, or do we move on?
I don't want it, and if it did come, Street Experience or Scare Zone, whatever it would be. To me, the Purge is kind of boring. Like, I can't see them doing much with the house, and like the Street Experience, it would kind of be predictable. So,
yeah,
I couldn't care about it.
Okay, so the next thing is The Conjuring, and personally, I would love it if it came. I love the film. It scared me, and it was a worldwide phenomenon. Like it was extremely popular, and that's something that Universal looks for: the ratings and how popular it is, and so I could see this happening.
I'm with you, John. I would love it. And to be honest, I'd rather have them do Conjuring than Insidious. There's so much,
Exactly.
so much cool stuff they could do with the Conjuring house if they had the opportunity. And just the thought of the stuff Universal could do, you know.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. Yeah, I would love it.
Definitely. You?
Yeah, I don't think I could say. I completely agree with Vic. I don't think I could say anything else to improve on what Vic said. I think it'd be an amazing house. It's got a really great story to tell. I think for people who haven't seen the film, I think it'd be a reminiscent of something like the Dead Silence House, where people who haven't been through it after they come out would want to see the film, because I think it could be that good an house. So. Yeah, I'd love to see it, mate. That's probably the top of my list of IP houses I want to see this year.
Dr. Jimmy's video on the tomato juice or blood. What do you think he could
Personally, I'd like it to be the Dracula rumor that was going around.
Oh yeah,
I think that'd be pretty cool. Dracula house. I went to the Dracula house in 2009. And that was like one of the best HHN houses.
I love that house.
Yeah.
And it was terrifying. And if they could do Dracula again, that'd be amazing. Or Bloody Mary, that'd be pretty cool too.
John, you brought up a good point of the chupacabra, because of how it likes to drain blood. And as we all know, Bloody Mary, the main ingredient in that is tomato juice, and could be Dracula, so could be anything really.
If it is Dracula, I love the old, obviously, Universal monsters, the Mummy, Werewolf, Dracula, Frankenstein's monster, etc. Invisible Man. I think they should have an Invisible Man house. That's just my little thing. But if it was Dracula, though, I love it. Even if it was the old Universal one or a reimagined one. I think, like Kane said, the last Dracula house I thought was amazing. I always remember the heads impaled on the spikes. I thought the facade was great. I thought it was a beautiful house, scary as well. So yeah, I'm all for the Dracula house. That's my view.
The final topic of the video is that Ayala confirmed on Twitter a while ago that there's going to be a new, all new original house, and it could be one of maybe 2 or 3, hopefully.
All right, this is Dr. Emma Brown 1.
Psycho Massacre Film.
HHN.
And I'm Deadly Fear 1283. We'll see you guys next week.
Game over, man. Game over.
Yeah.